Morning or afternoon actually. Welcome back to Córdoba. I've just been having a wander around and I was told about this particular square, Plaza de la Cerradura, and it's got a bit of traffic going through it unfortunately, but if I can get in here and then turn round. It's one of the places I saw in the guidebook. I'd not actually read about it or heard about it before, and I've just been to another one that was mentioned, the Plaza del Potro, which is really sort of quaint little square, but this one is really quite different. I'm told it's a completely different idea, and if you look around, and you can see all the way around here the way it's been done, it's quite a big area, but it's completely different to just about anything else that I've seen while I've been here actually. So I can't remember where I was yesterday. I was on the bridge, wasn't I? So today I went and had a lovely meal actually last night, a place very close to the hotel, and literally just around the corner. And it was also, it's right next to the museum. See, look at that behind me. It's quite interesting, isn't it? And they still got little columns and that. The archaeological museum, which is supposed to be very good. Once again, it's always supposed to be shut when I'm about. So I did that. And today, this morning, I mean, everything opens up late here. I noticed that. Things tend to close down a bit earlier than they might do in Seville, but they don't open. I mean, the Mosquito this morning didn't actually open until 10 o'clock. Other place, when I walked around, I came out of the hotel about 8:30, and there was hardly anything open at all, shops or even there weren't many cafes and that open either. So I went to the Mosquito. As I said, I went there yesterday partly just to go up the tower. When I mentioned that actually, there's a guy, the guide, as I said, when you go up there's a guide that sort of shows you around a little bit, moves you on to the various sort of sections. It's like 3 different sections to it. And he got talking to me. He just started talking to me in English because his English was very good. And it turned out he lived in Liverpool for 9 months and was a huge fan of the Beatles. And this morning I got there and I was wandering around because I was early, and I saw him. I said, "Oh, I know you speak English," and he remembered me and shook my hand and sort of told me, you know. So it's just, so you try and speak a bit of Spanish here, and everybody speaks English and very good English, but that's the same everywhere, isn't it? So I went into that particular bit. Amazing. I'd heard a lot about it, and it's one of those places, if you get the chance, go in and walk round 2 or 3 times. Don't just go in and walk round once. Keep walking around and keep doing it in slightly different ways, because it's there's a lot to be seen in there. But it's a real weird place, a real sort of juxtaposition type of thing, because you've got the original mosque, which, as I said yesterday, was built. The first part was built in the 7th century, and then in the sort of I don't know, I think it was about the 1300s. The kings, the Spanish kings, and they built it's like a Catholic church right in the middle of it. Unfortunately, they destroyed some of the mosque, but thankfully they did leave quite a bit of it as well. Actually, I went in there today first thing, and there was a service going on actually in the cathedral part, which was, as I said, it's quite mind-boggling. You're looking at all this sort of Islamic arches and architecture and the scriptures and that. There's not the tiling or anything like that in there. But you've got all that type of thing, and then you've got this Catholic service going on with the organ and obviously the preacher or whatever he was, Monsignor or whatever he was. So that very interesting. I did read that you need to go back several times, but if you can't do that, I suggest you just wander around and keep looking at different things. One other thing that I noticed, and I took a few photos, and you may see them at some time, was of the light. They've got stained glass windows in. It's a bit like the Sagrada Familia if you've been to Barcelona in there, and the way that the light plays through the stained glass windows onto the pillars and onto the ground and onto the walls, etc. The colours are absolutely amazing. I kept taking loads and loads of photos of them, so I could probably bore people with them, but it's just, I suppose it's the fact that it's sunny. Whether that was done deliberately, I don't know. I know it certainly was in the Sagrada Familia. So I looked around there, and I've just been to the Alcazar actually. I did think, well, I've seen one Alcazar, well, I've seen more than one, but maybe I won't bother with it. But really, really good. €4.50 to go in. Once again, if you ever come here, it's worth going just to go up the tower, which you can climb up. It's a bit windy and it's a bit narrow and everything like that, but once you get up there, you can go up to the tower, and the views from up there and along the walls at the top are pretty good, I must say, right across to the Mosquito or the Puente Romano and all that sort of area, the old part of the city as well. And also the gardens there are amazing. They're a bit like that's the way that they do it with these type of places, is that they build them. It calms you down because you've got fountains, you've got the nice gardens. It makes you feel sort of chilled out. It's also got the effect of the fountains and the running water and everything that makes you feel a bit cool. Although the Alcazar actually was built in the 1500s, so that isn't an Islamic structure at all, as some of the others were. So, and I've now wandered around to here. Say last full day here today actually. It's a pity actually, because it'd be nice to spend another day and had a bit of a wander around, but I found a couple of other places that I kept seeing, so I've been doing a lot of walking. But I suppose that's what you do when you come to a place like this. You've got to make the most of it and wear your feet out a little bit, and if you do get hot and sweaty it doesn't really matter. One other thing I'll just mention, I may well have posted a video already. I just got down to the Puente Romano where the Roman gate is. I don't know if I've shown a photo of that, but there was a local rock band that just sat up down there, and the police were there, didn't mind, they just didn't take any notice. Amplified, they're all amplified and that, and the young guys and a female bass player actually, which was good to see, and they just played, well, they played one song and they're trying to get me involved, but I thought I'd just sit back and do the critic type of thing, but it was good to see them, playing. As I said, they only did the one song, but what interested me was the fact that they sang in English. The universal language of music. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I no doubt I shall speak to you, if not from here, then from Granada tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Anyway, I'll see you later. Adios.